Hey, everybody. I am back with another video, and I'm really excited for this one. Just a few announcements before I get started. I was supposed to do these two topics last week, but due to my schedule, I was unable to get that done. So today I'm going to be posting out both the videos that was supposed to be done last week, and guys are pretty much going to get bombarded with content at the beginning of this week so we can catch up in the Grow Your List series. All right. Now, number two, if you don't know what I'm talking about, this is your first time seeing any of my videos, coming across any of my stuff at all, welcome. My name is Nyala Phillip, and I'm a marketing and income strategist, and I work with entrepreneurs, coaches, consultants, service providers, teaching them how to create profitable marketing strategies in their business so that way they can make more of an impact and make more income. So right now in my group, we're in the process of the Grow Your List series. So if you don't know what I'm speaking about, my group is the Divapreneurs Chat Box on Facebook. If you want to join us, you can go to divapreneurschatbox.com. I'll make sure that link is somewhere around for you. Come on over and join us in the Grow Your List series all month. I'm going to be giving tips every day. We already started. We're on day 4 today. Tips are going out and action steps for my group members to take that's going to help them grow their list this month. All right. So all the videos that's going out is going to be surrounding the Grow Your List series. All right, so welcome. I'm glad to have you. Let's jump in today. Today, I'm going to be talking to you about my favorite list building tools. It's so important to talk about tools because, as you know, every great surgeon, they have tools that makes them give the very best job, that helps them save lives. They have to have the machines and all the different tools they need to help save lives. And it is the same process when it comes to a business. We need tools that's going to make us do our very best job. It's very frustrating to be trying to set up, email funnels or seeing people doing courses, seeing people doing so much stuff. They're creating graphics. You love it, but you don't know where to be able to do that. You don't know what tools you're supposed to use to be able to have the very best for your business. So I thought that this topic was really important for us to touch on. And I'm just going to be giving you a few of my favorite list building tools. All right. So the first one we're going to talk about is ConvertKit. That is the autoresponder that I use right now, but it's not the autoresponder that I started with. We're going to talk about that one next, okay? So we're going to talk about ConvertKit. ConvertKit is an autoresponder. If you do not know what an autoresponder is, just so I don't make this broadcast too long, what I want you to do for me is I want you to scroll back into the group, search that hashtag Grow Your List, and you're going to see the first video that went out that taught you about the lingo and the different words that I'm going to be using this month. Definitely look at that replay so you can catch up and you know what I'm talking about. So ConvertKit is an autoresponder, how we communicate, right? And I love it. Number one, it's easy to use. Number two, it has less failed sends. And what I mean by that is, some autoresponders, you may have 100 people on your list and you send out an email and maybe 15 of them fails, meaning it doesn't get to that person. Or maybe your emails are going through spam filters and people are not getting those emails. That does not help you. So you want to use a program that's going to allow you to really get more of your emails to that person and not failing, right? So I think that ConvertKit does that well. Another thing I love about ConvertKit is they have a lot of custom features. And I'm not going to get too deep into that because I can overwhelm you if we start talking about these features. But one great thing with building a list, and anybody who has a business needs to know this, one great thing about building a list is that it is a great way to target sales. It is a great way to actually prepare yourself for the sales you want. Let me explain what I mean by that. If I am promoting an Instagram course and I want to guarantee that I'm going to make my sales, I want to make sure that I grow a list full of people who are interested in Instagram. But how can you do that if you just have one box and everybody's signing up on the list? Well, that is the great thing about some of the features that ConvertKit has, because it allows you to kind of like segment your list and get to know different people, what their interests are, so you can sell them and the right things and put them in front of the right things and send them the right type of information that's going to help them. So if you have people on your list who want to learn about LinkedIn and all you send them is about Instagram, they're pretty much going to unsubscribe. So those features are very handy. They come in very handy. Another thing is the automation. So, you know, when you're now starting to build a list, you might not see the value in this yet, but if you're someone who has a 9-to-5 job, if you're a mom, you have children, meaning you don't really have a lot of time, then you want to find ways to automate your business however you can. And with ConvertKit, I love their automation features because you're able, let's say, you know, you want to give away a checklist or something. You can automatically have an email send out once a person signs up, and that takes you out of having to manually send out these emails. And trust me, there are people that are still manually sending out emails. I know years ago when I first started growing an email list and I wasn't doing it effectively and wasn't doing it consistently, I used to just send out emails through Gmail, which is against the law. And I want to make sure you guys know that. You can't just solicit people in email. That's why they have these programs. So people can give you the permission to email them. All right. And last but not least, what I love about ConvertKit, and I mean not least, I really mean not least because I can go further, but I want to touch on the 3 other tools that I want to talk to you about. So last but not least with ConvertKit, I love the link triggers. So what that means is if you have links in your email, what ConvertKit allows you to do is add a trigger. So let's say I want to know which ones of my people would be interested in the events that I do in New York. And maybe I have an event in New York coming up and I have the link in that email. And I tell ConvertKit, I want you to add a tag or trigger an event every single time. Add this person to a certain list every single time someone clicks this link. And what that helps me do, again, is effective marketing, because now I'm able to start understanding and getting a list of people who I know would be interested in any of the events that I do in New York by just giving ConvertKit some directions. All right. Okay. So that's it for ConvertKit. Let's move on to the next software that I wanted to talk to you guys about, and that's MailChimp. MailChimp is an autoresponder as well. There are two types of tools that I'm going to be talking to you guys about during this broadcast. That is, number 1, an autoresponder, how you communicate via email to your list, and number 2, a program that helps you create sales pages and lead pages. So right now we're talking about autoresponders, and then we're going to go into the lead pages. Okay, so let's talk about MailChimp. MailChimp, I added this in. I know you guys are probably like, well, Nyala, you know, why are you telling me about MailChimp when you just gave me all these raving reviews about ConvertKit? Well, if you know anything about me, I want to make sure that I'm always satisfying every single person. And some people may not necessarily be ready to pay $29 a month, and that's where ConvertKit starts, okay? And MailChimp is a cheaper option. Another thing about MailChimp is usually what I recommend to someone who's now starting out, again, because of the price, because most people, they don't see the value in creating an email list yet, so they might not necessarily want to give themselves a $29 or even $49 bill. I pay more than that for ConvertKit because it grows as your list grows, right? You go on bigger plans, but you know, some people want that cheaper option, and I want to make sure that I give that. And MailChimp will serve that, you know, purpose. It's a cheaper option, and it's also a great software. And it is actually what I used before I switched to ConvertKit. So you're not alone if you decide to go with MailChimp. Most people do start there. All right, so let's talk about MailChimp a little bit. So MailChimp, it is a cheaper option. However, I'm going to say that it's cheaper up to about, you know, 2,000 people. Once you get, maybe a little less, maybe about 1,000. Once you get to about 1,000 people on your list, I would definitely recommend to switching up to ConvertKit or another platform, because there are so many more that you can choose from. Just because the automation features, you're gonna want that. And that takes me to the next thing with MailChimp, is that one of the downsides is the automation features, they're not as let's see. not as precise as ConvertKit. And that was something that was one of the reasons why I switched over to ConvertKit. But it's doable. Let me tell you some great things about it. There's a free basic plan, all right? So that's something that you can start with. It's really, really easy to use, meaning the interface is really easy to use. So if you're someone who thinks you're not good at tech, you don't feel like you want to learn a new program, you don't want to have to take on another responsibility, I don't want you to get too overwhelmed, because MailChimp is actually really, really easy to use. It has a really easy interface. One of the downsides why I switched to ConvertKit, and I thought that it was important for me to touch on this, is that sometimes when you're growing a community, and you'll find when you're growing a community and you're creating content, you're always going to be creating lead pages, and you're always going to be creating freebies and creating things so you can grow your list. And when you do that, you're going to be creating new lists all the time. You're going to create new pages all the time, and you're going to be growing a community of people that stay with you. So sometimes you'll have one person who will join every single one of your webinars. And one of the things that MailChimp did that I did not like about it was that if one person was to join 5 of my webinars, they will count that as 5 people, which makes you have to upgrade your package sooner. So that's a little downside versus ConvertKit. You know, you can use ConvertKit and it still counts that person as one person. Another great thing about MailChimp is the design, okay? Now, I won't give you my personal opinion on that yet, because I'm gonna put that in a whole other broadcast. But what I will say is, if you're somebody that's all about the glitz, the glam, you love the prettiness, which is great, then MailChimp really gives you a great design interface as well. So you can really customize your email so it can look great for your brands. And that's something that a lot of people think about. It's definitely something that I thought about in the beginning. Now, as you go a little further, that may change. It did change for me, but as I said, I'm going to talk about that a little deeper in a different broadcast. Okay, so let's move on. So the third software I want to talk to you guys about today is Lead Pages, all right? And what Lead Pages does is exactly what it says. It's a platform that allows you to create lead pages and sales pages, those pages that you go to where you get all the information about courses and freebies and events, that you click that button and the box pop up and you have to put in your name and your email. You do it all the time. You know what it looks like. It is a lead page. When it has a monetary value on it, meaning it's something that's selling something and not giving it away for free, we call it a sales page, but it is pretty much the same thing. Okay, so Lead Pages is the name of the program. I love, 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 love Lead Pages, and I'm going to give you some of the reasons why. Number one, Lead Pages, it comes with pages that are tested by top online marketers. And if you guys really want to level up in your business, and you know, a lot of you who are in my audience, I know that you're at the point where you really want to get to the next level. You're tired of being mediocre and hiding, and you really want to get to the next level. And what I can tell you is it is vital that you recognize when work has already been done by someone else, so you don't waste time doing things over. So let me tie that into what we're talking about. Why would you want to create 10 different lead pages to figure out which one your people like, when you're given a platform of other people who have tested all these pages and they're basically giving you a foundation of a page that you could just edit to fit your brand? I love that. The pages are tested by online marketers, which means they're highly converted, which means that when people go to these pages, they take action. And who wouldn't want to have a great foundation to start with that helps them save time when it comes to testing lead pages? So Lead Pages is really good at that. They also have pages that are optimized, so that's really good as well, because you can put in your Facebook pixel if you're somebody that places ads. You can put in your Google Analytics code, so you can keep track of who's signing up on your list. And all of these analytics is very important in your business. And again, I don't want to overwhelm you or gear off into another subject, because it's easy for me to do that when I'm talking about what I love. But what I would tell you is, if you're growing a business, again, you want to know how you're doing. You want to look at your numbers. You want to know how people are receiving you, so you can give them more of what they want, and that's how you grow. So, lead pages make that easy for you, because it's really easy to optimize the page. All right, next thing, it's easy to use. It's really easy to use. It allows split testing. So if you've never heard of split testing before, that just means that maybe you may create the same page, but you use 2 different colors. And most brands have 2 main colors. And you may want to see how people react to one color over another. You can split test your page and really see what people are liking. That's just, furthering that whole analytics topic, really understanding your audience and what they like, so you can provide what they need and you can grow. All right. Now, the last program that I want to talk about, which is kind of like an all-in-one thing, because it's not only a program, but it's a website platform. But it's a website platform that comes with lead pages. They call it cover pages, but it's the same thing. And that's Squarespace. So if you've ever been to my website, nyalaphillip.com, right now it is on Squarespace, depending on when you are hearing this recording, because I am going to be switching up very soon. Right now I am on the Squarespace platform, and I love it. It does have its limitations, and I'm going to tell you about them, but it's also, again, a cheaper alternative to lead pages. So I told you that I'll provide you with a cheaper alternative. So that's why we're talking about Squarespace. It's a cheaper alternative. You'll be able to get a full website as well as many lead pages, unlimited, as many as you want, for one low price. I think it's $12 a month. And they are super clean, okay? Like, when you look at those lead pages, they're modern, they're super clean. So again, if you're somebody who you're looking for that brand, that magnetic look, you really want people to love your pages, Squarespace makes that so easy, whereas lead pages a little bit more technical, okay? Squarespace is also easy to use. And last but not least, Squarespace, I wanted to give you the downside. Squarespace, it doesn't allow that much analytics. Like, you can't tell, how many people come to the page unless you are using a third-party service with codes and pixels and, your Google Analytics. Those type of stuff will allow you to track up to a certain point. So that's the little downside and the difference between lead pages. But as we all know, I'm straight up. You pay for what you get. You get what you pay for. And that's all right. That's all right, because when you're growing a business, you can't just expect to come out with the best in the beginning. Yes, you want to. And if you can, and if you're in a position to, I will always advise you to just start out, from jump, using the right tools and the right techniques. But it's not everyone has that luxury. And I still want to make sure that I'm giving you guys that option, because I don't want it to be an excuse or a reason why you're not going to start growing your list. I need you to start growing your list right now, which means that you need to have the right tools to be able to do so. All right. All right. So there's, I'm going to have this reference guide next week. I'm going to be releasing the workshop for this month. And it comes with a reference guide and a planner and all these different stuff. You guys know what I love to do. And I'm going to be doing a 2 to 3 hour workshop. And in this reference guide, I actually have 25 of my tools. So I put it all in a reference guide, so that way you guys can really compare the different tools. Just because I mentioned these to you today, and I am going to leave my link, so if you guys want to go with the ones that I use, you could definitely use my link to do so, and I'll love you for it. But here's the thing. You're not, you don't have to use it. And I want to give you your options. I want you to weigh your options. I want you to research, and I really want you to choose the platform that's going to fit your needs, your audience, and that's going to be easy for you to use. So in this reference guide that you're going to get next week, once you join us in the workshop, this reference guide is going to have all 25 of them with the comparisons, the price, everything. You're going to love it. So look out for that. All right. Now, last but not least, before I go, please invite a friend. The Grow Your List series is the bomb right now. If you're not in it, you're missing something great. If your friends are not in it, they're missing out. So invite a friend to come on over to the Deeperpreneur chat box. They can go to deeperpreneurschatbox.com. Join us in the Grow Your List series. And I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for joining me. Bye.